Hello, Gigaschatten here, bringing you another episode of tips and tricks. Today's topic are natives. What are natives? You can either find planets which are rocks, which are inhabited, where you can drop colonists and then slowly, develop them, or you are lucky and the planet you colonized has already some native races. Um, these races differ in their type. There are different types. We will come to that in a second. They also have a government. So in this case, it says reptilian. This is the type of the natives and the government type. For example, these ones have a representative government, whereas, for example, the reptilians on this planet, in this game almost encountered the same amount of reptilians on two different planets. Look at this, 5.2 million, but they have a different government type, which is monarchy. And then last but not least, you also see the amount, so the number. Okay, the more natives you have on a planet, usually the more tax you can generate by them. Now let's have a look. If I would tax my kind of colonists from my homeworld, so this is my homeworld, I have 2.5 million at the moment colonists, which are in this case Hordes of Fury people, because I play this race in this game. Let's jump to this planet, and if I tax like 372 clans of mine with a tax rate of, let's say here, like 13%, look, I'm getting a whimsy 5 mega credits per turn. That's almost nothing. However, if you see the native taxes, I set the tax rate to 6%, then I get 372 mega credits. So it's like almost not 10 times, but not 100 times, but 50 times more. I think 60 times more. 60? 70 times more even. Okay, so the main source of income in this game, unless you are the Borg, that's a different matter, but also they harvest first natives and then assimilate, are natives. Okay, so the most taxes and mega credits you generate always out of the natives. On my home world, you need much more, like you need in the millions to get taxes and the income almost similarly, but still also here you see I would go into overtaxation mode, which I don't want to do now. And here for every single clan on this planet, I get a certain tax income that is dependent on the amount and the government type. The amount is like this. Let's jump, I think, to this planet here. Here you can see it better. Here I have avians, and I'm going to tell you also in a second what the differences between all these natives are. Example here is I have like more people here, and I say fine, so I can tax more. And there we go. Now it says income 221 mega credits, but 230 possible with the 17% tax rate, but limited by my colonist population, which means I can only get mega credits out if I have the minimum number of colonists for the amount of natives and their government type. I think no, last one is not quite correct. So only for the amount of natives. Okay, so let's arbitrarily put that up, and you can see I can, get up to whatever value here. Okay, so again, I have only 221 clans at the moment, but they're growing. So next turn I will have 230 clans. So next turn I will yield 230 mega credits. Okay, so that's number one. The more natives usually there are on a planet, the better. Okay, and I have marked the natives which I encountered in this game and wrote them down here. You always see like bovinoid, and then this is the government type, which is representative. I put an RP, and then roughly the amount. right? So this is siliconoid, participatory. These are just humanoids, tribal, amphibian, feudal, and so on. You get the point. All right. So, as I said, the main income are natives. So what you should try at the beginning is to find those native planets and as soon as possible colonize them with lots of clans and also supplies. We will come to that in a second. And then squeeze out the mega credits. The mega credits you will then need to build structures, upgrade star bases, and then with that technology build chips. Okay, so there's a as usual, the planets.nu documentation is awesome. Many thanks for all the community members and especially Joshua's team who created that site. The documentation is very good. And if we go onto that page here and search for natives, then you will end up on this page. And it says, okay, every native race has an advantage or behavior that in most cases can be used to your advantage. So let's start. We start the amorphs we will discuss in a second. So we start with the amphibians. I have encountered amphibians as well. And if you click here in this area of the UI, you can set the tax rates. And here you see these are amphibian creatures, right? And in this case, they look froggish. There are more who look more like fish, but it's a kind of a taxonomy. You say, okay, these are amphibians. And you see, again, the native numbers and feudal, but now let's read what they can do. Amphibians will grant Tech 10 beam weapon technology to a newly built starbase orbiting their planet for free. Which means if I would, and the UI is in this case not very good. Here you can't see it, but there's an area beside every planet where you can click on it and then it gives you the option to build a starbase. So I do lack on this planet the amount of minerals. You see, I need 120 uranium, I have 6 titanium and so on. But once I would have met everything and I would press build the starbase, I would get a starbase, however, with beam weapons automatically upgraded to Tech 10. Now what does that mean? It's like this. I have a humanoid planet here. So these are humanoids and they're tribal. They look really tribalish. However, their advantage is, and if we go to the documentation, humanoids will grant Tech 10 hull technology to a newly built starbase orbiting their planet for free. So what I did is, I saw there's a humanoid planet. I transported uranium, titanium, moly, and money to that planet because I didn't have any structures like mines or factories, and in general, tribal planets don't yield many mega credits. We will come to that also in a second when I show you the tax income for all these races. However, when I built the starbase, it was not built with hull tech 1, engine 1, beam weapon 1, torpedoes 1, but I got the hull tech 10 for free. And that's awesome. Why? Every upgrade costs me the amount which is stated here as a tech level. Means if I want to upgrade the tech level from engine tech 1 to 2, I need to invest 100 mega credits. If I then further want to improve my tech engine level from level 2 to 3, I need to invest 200 mega credits. So you see the pattern. It's 200, 300, 400, 500, and so on. And in the end, to get the engine tech level from 1 up to 10, and this is now correct for every beam weapon and torpedo tech level, you need 4,500 mega credits in total. So by building the starbase here, I actually saved 4,500 mega credits, and I got that tech level for free. The second advantage is there are 2 tech levels at the beginning of the game, which are very important, and one at the late stage of game. One are the engines. If you can squeeze out early ships with high engines, you can colonize faster and therefore have an advantage. Also, you use less fuel and you are just, in general, faster on the map. Okay? The second one is the hull tech. The higher the hull tech is, the more I am capable to build high-level ships, like this one. This is my battle cruiser, which I have, right? But this has a tech level of 10. Before I can build that, I need to develop the planet in such a way that I need to invest all the money and so on to retrieve that. Okay, good. So there are now many factors. One is you get mega credits from the natives, but the other is you also get certain advantages. So as I said, the amphibians will grant you tech level 10 beam weapons for free. And here it says, note, this enhancement is only available if the natives exist before a starbase is built. When a starbase is built, the technology is incorporated for free, and so on. However, if the natives are found or arrive after the starbase is built, they cannot incorporate the technology. Okay? And side effect, this is something I didn't know. For amphibian natives, this boon does not enhance planetary defense before a starbase has been built. But once a starbase has been built, the planetary defenses will be upgraded to Tech 10 beams. I didn't know that. So let's jump back here into this game. Let's try to find a planet with defenses here. I have a planet with defenses. And if you hover or click the defenses, it will say 78 defenses will provide this planet 5 disruptor beam weapons, 8 fighter base, and 9 fighters. Okay, that's without having built a starbase. Now comes the fun part. If I would have built the starbase at the amphibian planet and would have put 78 defenses on there, I wouldn't have 5 disruptors, but 5 heavy phasers instead. Okay? Alright, so let's again, I don't know, I think there are broken pictures here, doesn't matter, so let's reload. Then next we have the avians. Avians are a forgiving, absent-minded native species, granting a +10 bonus to the change in happiness per turn. When an avian planet has been colonized by the Warbasp, the avians breed 25 faster than normal. Okay, this one isn't important yet. So this one is for now important. Do we have an avian planet? Yes, we have. That's why I deliberately chose this game. So let's look at the reptilians. So if I don't tax them at all, their happiness changes by +5 each turn. That's dependent on the government type. I am not sure, I guess. So, okay. And let's take the humanoid tribals here. If I go to 0, no, they also change by +5. So that seems to be common for every race. But for avians, it's different. If I set them to 0, look, their happiness, they get a +10 bonus. Okay, which means, well, why is it an advantage? The advantage is, let's say I would have had, although they are just feudal, they don't give many income because the government type isn't that high. However, I can overtax them very easily like any other race. Let's say I would go for let's go for -15. 2 turns, then the happiness would drop to 70%. That's the threshold where natives, if they below that, don't grow. And now I could go for 2 times, -15 until 70%, and then I would go to 0. And within 2 turns, the happiness would be again almost by 100%, namely 98%. And then I could overtax them. So in general, rule of thumb is avians give a lot of money. Again, if I would have like 6 million avians here, and then a higher government type like representative or something like that, then I would get much more money. Okay, good. What else? Then we have the botanicals. The botanicals are a rare native race, and their boon is a planet with botanical increases the maximum colonist population by 50% and double the colonist growth rate. At the same time, botanicals can increase their level of government, but the reason for this is not yet known. In addition, they appear to spread. If natives are discovered on a nearby planet, they will probably be botanical. I don't have any, and you encounter them rarely, really. They're really, really rare. However, there is an interesting sentence here. It's this one. Botanicals can increase their level of government. As per ships, normally, unless you're the Federation, you build a ship with a certain configuration, and then that's it. You have that ship with that configuration and are stuck with it until the end of the game. Only the Federation, they can upgrade their ships. That's their special ability. And for natives, it's the same, basically. So these avians, they will remain feudal until the end of the game. The only thing which you can influence is the happiness, and with the happiness, the growth of the natives. So let's say, I would say, okay, you know what, I don't need the 217 mega credits a lot. Next turn, I would have, instead of 1.3 1,353,300 avians, I would have 10,700 more. But I could decide to say, you know what, I want them to grow. I could set the taxing to 0, and then you see these numbers change. So I could kind of steer in a couple of turns, like in 10 turns, I would have gotten plus 440,000 native avians, boosting this number to roughly 8 million. However, if I leave the taxes on, which I will do, then they will only grow by 10,700, again in 10 turns, 100,000, so in 10 turns I will have, instead of 1.8 million, 1.4 million. That's the only thing I can somewhat influence by setting the tax rate, and obviously if I overtax them, they get angry. That's the other part. There is an exception to this, as with every rule almost at planets.nu you have an exception, is when you have the bird, the Romulans, so to speak, the birdmen, and they have the ability with a special ship, they can educate the natives. So within, I think per turn, was it 5% or 25%? I can't remember. We will see that when we come to the native races, but you will see it there. Okay, so avians, you can already remember, rule of thumb, give a lot of money, and botanicals are very rare. Next one, bovinoids. Every 10,000 bovinoids will produce 1 supply unit per turn. The planet owner must have 100 colonists, 1 clan, for every supply that they collect each turn. Harvested bovinoids yield 4 larvae per bovinoid. Again, this one you can ignore. This is for the whore wasp. This is the 12th race, but we will cover that extensively in another video. So let's jump to one of my bovinoid planets. Here it is. Again, here's the picture. In this case, they look like cows with tech level. Awesome. And if you encounter bovinoids, you are already considered lucky. Why? Again, besides the tax rate and the amount of mega credits I yield from this planet is dependent on the number. So 6.6 million is very good. And representative, they give high tax. And as you can see, just by overtaxing, I'm getting 1026 mega credits. Every turn, if you have factories on the planet, in this case I have 132, so next turn they will produce 132 supplies for free, which I can sell 1-to-1 for mega credits. So these, if you want, you could consider as 132 mega credits. Okay, now the bovinoid, if you have enough clans, and which I have on this planet, will yield, in this case, so you need to shift the first comma here 2 to the right, 666 supplies for free. They come in addition to what the factory produces. So effectively, I am getting 132 mega credits plus 1026 mega credits plus 666 mega credits. First of all, in forms of supplies, but I can click the supplies and start selling them, as you can see, and then I can turn them to mega credits if I want. Okay, so these are the bovinoids, and you can consider yourself lucky if you get them, because you get the supplies regardless what government type you have. So even if they are shitty tribals like these ones, then maybe you get like 100 mega credits for 6 million, but you get the 666 supplies anyway. Another good thing is there is a alchemy ship in this game, which every race has, and that can turn supplies into minerals. And since, here, look at this, I mean, I'm getting 6 times what this factory produces in 1 turn. So in 2 turns, I get like 12, 13, 1400 supplies here. And you can turn those by a rate of 3 to 1 into a certain mineral type, like uranium, titanium, or molybdenum. Sorry. So you're always lucky if you encounter such a planet. And in this game, I have even encountered 2. So with high governments, which is going to give me a lot of boost. Good. Then gypsolials. Gypsolials will grant Tech 10 engines to a newly built starbase orbiting their planet for free. Again, in this game, I am a little bit unlucky in this respect, but I'm not going to complain. I don't have any gypsolials here, but like the starbase, if you build a starbase on a planet with gypsolials, you would get, instead of the hull tech, that will stay at 1, but the engine tech at 10. So you immediately can build ships with transwarp engines. Good. Humanoids we had covered already. They will grant the Tech 10 hull technology. The next one are insectoids. Insectoids pay twice the normal taxes at a certain tax rate without increasing the colonists required to collect the taxes. Again, let's have a look, and I am lucky. I have insectoids here. They don't have a high government, but you already see something here. I get twice the amount of taxes. So if these were like amphibian, bovinoid, gypsolial, humanoid, doesn't matter, with feudal, I would get 617 mega credits. But since these are insectoids, I get twice the amount. Normally, rule of thumb, as I said, you need at least 1 colonist clan to harvest these mega credits, so to speak. But I only have half of them. So for insectoids, they don't. It doesn't matter. They say, okay, half of the normal population is enough. We will give you anyway twice the money. Okay. Then you have the reptilians. If there are 100 or more reptilians living on a planet, then your mining rate will be doubled. They will gladly help your colonists mine and move large boulders. And when involved in ground combat with other natives, oh, this is with the 4-hole wasp, yeah, then we can ignore that again. So let's have a look. Here we have reptilians. On this planet, they look like this. And on this planet, they look different like this. So different reptilians, but same taxonomy. And normally, let's have a look at this planet here. Let's look at the right. And you see I have 200 mines on this planet. So this is good for calculation. On the top hand side here, uranium. Yeah, look at the top right side here now when I hover. You see the uranium with 220 on the surface has still 129 minerals left in the ground. and mining that with a mineral density of 26%. 100 mines would yield 26 kilotons per turn. 200 mines, as I have them on the planet, would normally produce 52 uranium per turn. But since there are reptilian on this planet, this number is automatically doubled. And as you can see, instead of 52, I'm getting 104. And then last but not least, the siliconoids will grant 10 torpedo technology to a newly built starbase orbiting their planet for free. Additionally, they grow best on desert planets. Since they're not built or based on carbon, they kind of grow best if the temperatures are slightly higher. Again, in this game, oh yeah, I have them. Here we have siliconoids as well. They're here. They look different, right? Based on siliconoid. Again, very nice government type. And if I would here click on this area here and build a starbase, which I will either choose this one as a starbase or the amphibian. I am not sure yet. So if you would choose them, then you would get the torpedo tech level already at tech level 10. And also, just to remember, if you want to increase the tech level of a starbase to 10, you normally need 4,500 mega credits. So to get every 4 tech levels up, you need a whopping 18,000 mega credits. Yeah. Okay. So just as a summary, if you start colonizing and or encounter enemy worlds, the ones with natives are the most important. And now, sorry, I forgot one. These are the morphs. Except for the Klingons, the Hordes of Fury, no one loves amorphs. Why? As the only unfriendly native race, amorphous life forms eat 5 clans per turn, given an end of turn happiness level of 90 or higher. If their happiness drops below 90, an additional clan will be consumed for each point below 90. A happiness of 80 will cause the amorphous life forms to consume 15 clans. They do not pay taxes and will become upset if you try to tax them. This is the only race which can't be assimilated by the Borg, and the effects caused by civil wars, though not to pillage and plunder. So, because there's a racial ability of the Hordes of Fury, aka the Klingons, pillage or plunder, like with all other natives, will yield them money and supplies. And on top, this is the important part, the detonation of a glory device in orbit can kill them, converting them to supplies. And also, finally, capturing a planet in combat will decrease the population. So, I don't think that I have any amorphs. Oh yeah, I have them. I'm sorry, they're here. They look like these ugly worms. And you see already, you don't want to mess with such worms. So you can't tax them. So even, you see, if I said anything and I would have colonists, you wouldn't get income. But they get angry and eat more colonists. Now, it is like this, you would say, wow, well, then I don't colonize that planet. Because, you know, in a couple of turns, all my colonists are gone. Yeah, that's true. However, if the temperature is right, for example, in this case, 37, it's quite okay. Always when this temperature sign is in this bluish area, then it depends. There are certain growth rates. I had shown that in another tutorial. You can look that up on the VGA planets calculator table. If I would, for example, out of the box, out of my head, probably deploy 200, 250 clans on this planet, the amorphs would eat 5 per turn, but at the same time, my colonists would grow with 5 colonists as well, you know, or even more. And in that case, you can still have the planet, and because, for example, this planet is an important planet. Why? Although it has amorphs, I marked it with an N for neutronium. Look, there's fuel in this planet, a lot, and the mineral density is great for harvesting it. So if I build 200 mines on this planet or more, then I would get 166 or more kilotons, depending on the amount of mines. So at some point of time, I will definitely colonize this. But the ship, which was in orbit here, had just like, I think, 10 clans. So in 2 turns, I would have lost the planet. So I need to revisit the planet and then deploy more colonists on it. Okay? So with this, wrapping it up, again, try to find the planets where you have natives. Focus on the planets where you can A, get much money. For example, I have marked these ones with a $sign, as you can see here. Yeah, I haven't marked the amphibians here, so because let's have a look. The amphibians give me just measly 89 mega credits, and because of the temperature, I can't also put many clans on here. And yeah, that is okay. I mean, it depends because I also have only 89 clans. But there are 4 million feudal. However, this bovinoid participatory, they yield much more tax. Well, let's have a look at this tribal. The tribal one is better as an explanation. Yeah. So here at some point of time, yeah, the income I could get up, but then the happiness would drop a lot. So you need to maintain a certain balance here where you get mega credits and they don't get too angry. Okay, so again, focus on the planets where you have a good income. These are the ones which I have marked, for example, with a $sign. Then focus on the planets which have kind of natives but have good sweet spots. So this base I have built here because it has 1, 2, 3 connections and it can be supplied with minerals and money from other planets. Also, I got the tech level for free here. Yeah. Then also let's have a look at this planet. I've marked it with uranium and molybdenum. This planet has nice minerals inside. So I need to get more colonists to this planet because I want to dig out the minerals and I need the minerals to buy to build these higher tech level ships. Okay. So try to remember the following. Insectoids and avians normally grant you lots of money. Bovinoids give you always supplies. And for building bases, humanoids and gypsodials are the ones you would consider building starbases first, and then amphibian and siliconoid, but the other way around. So torpedoes are more value than beams, I would say. So try to focus on that. Okay, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the session. Got a little bit longer, and I will try to shorten the other videos so you don't need to watch it in depth, everything. Maybe I will do some 5-minute videos. We will see. Okay, with that being said, thanks for watching, and Gigaschatten over and